So I'm presuming actually that each of you has had a philosophy course before, and it doesn't really matter because what I'm really presuming is that even if you have had a philosophy course before, you haven't had one like this, which is just to say that your philosophy courses previously have not dwelled upon the kind of philosophical issues that we will be concerned with in this class. The other philosophy requirements at St. Joe's have to do with philosophy of human nature and moral philosophy. We will not be concerned with those subjects in this course. You may have touched upon these subjects that we will be concerned with in this course before in your other philosophy classes, but I would say that probably not. That is, at least not in the depth that we will be going into them. And what I mean by that, or the subjects that I'm talking about, are these, and they should pop up on the screen right now: metaphysics and epistemology. Another expression should pop up on the screen right now, and that is first philosophy. First philosophy. Philosophy deals with a lot of different things. You know, I mean, that is, philosophy is not a very well-defined field, and that's okay. It's not chemistry or physics or even mathematics or even logic. You know, it doesn't have a very well-defined boundary in terms of what sort of subjects it talks about and what sort of subjects it doesn't talk about. And in a way, philosophy can talk about anything. Moral philosophy has to do with good and evil and how we should behave, and whether our actions are judged by some objective moral law. Philosophy of human nature really has to do with what essentially makes us human, and what the essence is, if we should have one. Metaphysics and epistemology deal with much broader questions, and the idea of first philosophy is really derived from the idea that there are certain questions which have a kind of a logical priority, in the sense that they're the questions that need to be answered first if we are to trust our answers to any other questions. The question in first philosophy, let's take an epistemological question. And epistemology means the study of knowledge. So whenever we're dealing with an epistemological question, we're dealing with a question of knowledge. The fundamental epistemological question is, what can I know? And if I can know anything, how do I know it? It would seem that that is a very basic question that would affect everything else. You know, not just in philosophy, but everything in life. Whenever anybody claims to know anything, I mean, what does it mean to know? Can I really know anything? Would seem to be a first question, an epistemological question. Another first question, and this would be the metaphysical question: what is the world like? What exists in the world? What kind of things are there in the world? Are there different sort of things, or is everything the same? What is the basic nature of reality? What is real? Might be the best, simplest form of metaphysical question, which is also a very primary question. You know, I mean, what is reality like? What kind of things exist in reality, and what are not, real? What kind of things maybe appear to be real but are not real? Those are very basic questions that would seem, again, to affect everything that we go on to say, in particular about things in the world. So this course is a course, you'd say, in first philosophy. The texts that we'll read, Russell, More, Descartes, Sextus Empiricus, and William James, all to one degree or another deal thematically with either one or the other, and most times both of these questions. Because very quickly, when we think about epistemological questions and metaphysical questions, it's very difficult to answer one without answering the other two. That is, if I make some claim about what there is in the world, what reality is like, it would seem that I have to justify my claim to know it. So the metaphysical question about reality brings up an epistemological question. Maybe less directly, epistemological questions bring up metaphysical questions. If I try to give an account of how I can know a thing, then it would seem that I must have some presuppositions about what reality is like, about what there is to be known, and what I am too, which are deep metaphysical questions. So you might say that metaphysics and epistemology are really just terms of convenience in terms of separating different questions out, that they kind of are so close to each other that they boil down to really just first philosophy, and that is what we will be concerned with in this course.